EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Trubisky going to look to throw right away. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
We talked about parts of the game, and it played out right there in the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
First carry for Najee Harris. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Throwing here, Trubisky. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it will still lead to a fourth down.
I think that we all figured when he called it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Returnable for Grant. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Open man is Myers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Browns at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off-tackle run here for Nick Chubb. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Watson off play action. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play to just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Browns, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 14 yards that time for number 14. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. We're scoreless after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
Well, I couldn't match the 11 touchdowns he posted as a rookie. The rest of Chase Claypool's numbers stayed pretty steady in his sophomore campaign. 59 catches, 860 yards. You can use him in the passing game. You can use him in the running game. The big target for the Steelers picks up a first down right there.
Harris will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Trubisky. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jalen Smith coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because
And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Down, coming.
Another try after the first down sack. Watson, quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Trubisky will throw. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But the throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive lineman creating space for their runners. I know a coach told me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know, he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
24!
Off of play action, it's Watson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Throw left side. There's Schwartz with it. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
York able to send this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, 24.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number. And he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 42 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
On 1st down, Watson. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jacoby Myers, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now Trubisky on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On the give, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Alexander Johnson. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
A give running right is Chubb. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
York able to send this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time. And
we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Trubisky. Completion here to Claypool. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Again, it's Trubisky. Touchdown! Deontay Johnson, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The return from his end zone is Grant. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
The Browns on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And with that, the lead is up to 8.
Makes the score Steelers 21, Browns 13.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the 4th. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. That's caught by Myers. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Back to throw, Watson on the move to his left. And now Watson throws another interception. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers will take over here just shy of the 30. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Trubisky to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Second and 10. Watson to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Pittsburgh, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Browns, They will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.